I'll get with you after court. Court to order January the 23rd, 2023. It's 9:34 a.m. And ask Commissioner Chaffin to lead us in the invocation, please. If y'all please stand.
Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, just pray that you'll bless this meeting. Just have a hand and encouragement in all our decisions, Lord, and what we make for your people. Lord, just pray that you'll be with the men and women that fight for this country. Lord, just keep them comfortable, Lord, and just give their families the peace just to cope and deal with their obedience and what they do for us. And Lord, just pray that you'll continue to guide and direct us and just each and every decision that we make. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen. You'll join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, show that all members of the Commissioners Court are present. We do have a quorum. Consent agenda. The consent agenda is considered to be self-explanatory and will be enacted with one motion. There will not be a separate discussion on these items. However, any consent agenda item may be removed for individual consideration pursuant to a request by a Commissioners Court member. So we have budget amendments. Consider approving the bills. Do we have any utilities crossing county roads?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Treasurer's report, sheriff's report, county clerk's office report, tax assessor collector's report, district attorney's report, auditor's report, district clerk's report, IT reports, JP reports, constable reports, veterans report, collections reports, historical commission reports, and also I've taken the Open Meetings Act training and the Public Information Act training required by statute. So that's on the consent agenda. Any questions or comments, or if not, I'll entertain them. I'm sorry.
Swear.
Where's the treasurer?
The audit.
Treasurer's two of them.
Oh, those need to be under oath?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear that you have read the treasurer's report and do believe to the best of your ability that it is correct?
I do.
Yes, I do. Okay. All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve all reports.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Dixon. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hill. All in favor say aye. Aye. So ordered.
You need 2 copies.
Yes. All right, consider to take action on a one-time retention pay incentive for each of the current Anderson County regular part-time employees employed on or before 1/9/2023, along with the already approved full-time employees to be paid from American Rescue Plan Fund Act, which is from the 10 million designated disaster relief flexibility fund to be paid with the regular payroll ending 1/22/23. The payroll is about to go out. So I did talk to Tramer Wotek and Jim Allison at the conference, and just asked some questions about this, and they did indicate that we probably need to indicate that that's coming out of the 10 million, the flexible part. Okay, so that's why that's in the agenda item, to cover both the full-time and the regular. Also, they did say that we could do the part-time employees. So now, the court had asked me to put this back on, so I guess my concern is, and I'm not sure what y'all's ideas are about how we implement this. I just would like to make sure it's something that the county auditor can implement and be able to explain. If an employee walks in the office, if they talk to one of us, then it's gonna be easy enough to explain of why they got the raise or not a raise, but the increment, or why they didn't. So it's on for regular part-time, not like temporary, okay?
That's right.
So, I mean, have y'all got some kind of idea of how you want to try to implement this?
My thinking was that we take the 1,500 that we give the other employees and divide it by your hourly, ever how many hours you put in a year, which I think is 2,080.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct? And it comes out to a little over 72 cents an hour. So I was thinking you could go back to ever how many hours they worked last year in 22 and multiply that by the 72 cents an hour. And I think it should be for any employees that work part-time 22 that are still currently employed with us. But that was just.
And since we did that on the 9th, that's why we put the 9th, so it's the same time
So they
period.
were-
For anybody working then or before.
Right.
That's
right.
But they had to be working on the 9th in order to.
Still employed.
employed on the 9th in order to be eligible.
So is there an example using that formula? Now, Megan put these together, the auditor's office put this together for us,
Okay.
so it kind of gave you a summary of how that might affect somebody, so.
I left the names off, but I mean, it shows all the part-time employees and then,
And this is all regular part-time?
yes, all regular part-time
Okay.
employees. And then, the average, what they worked per payroll, and then the average of what they worked per week. Looks like this.
So let's do an example, pick one out, let's say that's working the 29 and a half. And we got somebody that we can use for any,
Well, the first-
without names, but
The,
just.
the
I should
first
have
one on the list,
2 of them.
they work an average 33 hours per payroll, 16 hours a week, the first person.
So what What would that do for them?
For the 72 cents? Or,
Was it 70?
Yes, 72.72.1 or something like that, but if you did it by 72,
oh,
whatever.
I gave it
Just
to
round it
Lisa.
off.
Yeah.
So do we have the list? Cause I'm looking for it. I know Greg's
It
list.
should be,
I don't have it.
Yeah, we're looking for it.
okay, there's one
Oh,
here.
he has one.
Chip chop, but I'm all right.
Megan, at the bottom of that first,
I'm sorry. Here, you want to borrow that?
So, and I also did,
Can y'all share that one a minute?
Yes.
whoever that.
it's also the total hours on there, but it includes, it's 26 weeks, all of 22, and then the first week of 23. So it's 27 weeks.
So,
It'd be, you said
so
dollars.
do you have one that you can pick out that's working
$7.99.
full, regular full-time that comes in every week, just to see what that's gonna do?
That'd be $655.
Oh, is it that many?
Those are all regular part-time.
Yes. Mine has names on it.
See, Judge, like on this,
There's about 25.
like
Yes.
here's one employee that
Okay.
last year
About
worked
23,
1,462.07 hours. So we would multiply that times .70
Yes, but I don't think you should base it on
by
people.
.72. And that person would get a check for
But
$10.52.
you're, all your road and bridge, I mean, they were pretty much all December, off
Okay.
in December, so
Did
they're
y'all,
still employed here.
they figured up one down here. Greg,
Yes, sir, he
We're
got
just
it.
making
All
it
right.
active with payroll.
let's see what,
That's what we do, so it doesn't generate. Yes, he's in here.
Yeah, Judge, I just wanted to clarify because we have sometime, with some of those full part-timers, we, enact them the last month. We just wanna make sure they hit, like in Road and Bridge, they might be off for the month of December, but January picks up the new budget. They come back on because we have multiple
But they're
part-timers.
still on the books.
Yes,
as
they're still on the
employees.
books, and that's what Megan said. Yes.
yeah, and
They
they hadn't,
They hadn't terminated.
they're
hadn't
not
been
terminated because
terminated.
you just call them when you need them.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Would that be an easy way to do this, Megan? Or do you have another way that would be easier
I
on
mean-
y'all to do it?
What about an increment, like if you worked so many hours, you get this much, and then if you work less than this number of hours, you get this much? I don't know, that would be another way. I think that one might be a little easier than the prorate of, 72 cents, but I mean, it's,
So what?
So if you went.
So what increment are you looking at?
I mean, okay, so 1,500 was for full-time, so, I mean, I think it should be less because they're part-time, but maybe
So if
13 or,
if they were working 15
yeah,
to 20, what is it, 29 and a half or 30?
yes, sir.
And that could be one increment. If you're working less than 15 average, that would be a second increment.
Yeah,
How many hours can a part-timer put in yearly?
29.
average 29 and a half
That's a
per
month.
week.
I mean, a
I
week.
know, but I was wondering if she knew what that.
Yeah, we got some on this
15
list that's got 1,500.
26. Do 29 times 26.
Okay. Let me ask, based on what Megan's saying, what if it was, so that way it's easy for us to explain and her to explain and implement. If they work 15 hours or more to 29 and a half, then we pick an increment that's $1,100, $1,200, whatever y'all think. And then if they work less than 15 hours average a week, then we pick another increment, 800 to 1,000.
According to this, there's only 5 people that work less than 15 hours a week.
I mean, if you do the 72 cents, the first person on the list, that person, I mean, works an average of 33 hours per payroll, 15 hours a week.
And then if
With
they work
the
less
number of
than
hours
15
they
hours
worked last year, it would be $576.
Yeah, and I see.
And
what
I
If they
mean,
work the
they
full
work-
potential, the
I see
29 and a
what
half
you're saying.
hours a week, all they can at the 72 cents, the most they can make on is $1,104.48.
Well, that
That's if
seems
they're
fair to
100%
me
everything they can
because
do.
Your
I mean, if
full-time
you do the
employees are getting
72
1,500
cents,
and they work
the first person on
full-time,
the
8
list,
hours a day.
That person,
So I would
I mean,
think
works
if you're
an
part-time,
average of 33
you
hours
shouldn't
per
get the
payroll.
I agree.
1,500.
I agree with you on
Yeah.
But there's no way they can if they don't exceed the maximum amount of time, but it still puts
That's
them
why
at
I thought it'd
$1,100.
be- That's why I thought it'd be simple, just go back and send me hours they achieved in 22 and pay them at that rate.
That sounds good, yeah.
And that would be fair across the board to the full-time employees and the part-time employees.
Good with me. Whatever you want, I don't have a part-timer.
Even better, like he said, do 15 hours and more, you get 1,100. 14 hours and less, you get 700, or whatever the dollar
I
amount is.
like
That needs
that
to be
too.
settled though.
Huh?
That's what we're after,
Right.
to try to,
I
y'all
mean, there's only 5 employees that,
document it.
according to this, if I counted correct, there's 5 employees that are less than 15 hours.
And then like
So
you,
most of them would get the 1,100 then.
yeah,
Well, I
because they,
don't know that it would be 11.
Well, 11
Well,
or whatever,
whatever we
whatever the
decide.
court decides.
Yes.
Yes, because that would be,
so if you take one that's got like 1,200 hours, or if you take one that goes to 1,400 hours, 1,400 hours, if they say they had 68 hours, they're getting almost $1,100 if you did 72 cents. It kind of weighs out
Well, why
about
don't
the
we
same.
do 1,700? If you work,
Yeah, I think that would be fair
15
because they are
hours or more.
part-timers.
you get $1,000. If you work 14 hours or less, you get 700.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I mean, I'm just throwing it out there.
I just think they need some recognition, cause we
Oh,
have.
yeah, I agree.
Yes,
I agree 100%.
Because they're essential to,
yes, sir.
you know, they're essential to what they do.
Yeah, these
Yes,
guys
sir.
that are, they're scheduled in weekly, I mean, they're on the schedule with us, you know, with them, I don't have to
they
have
work 29 hours a week.
But if you do the 29 times 26, some of them go more than that.
But there's 26 payroll.
Well, I'm just,
Well, I was letting them.
Payroll,
Yeah.
you can put in 60
I just want it easy for them to
Yes, sir.
implement.
payroll.
That makes it easy for us to explain, don't you agree, Greg?
Yes, sir.
But Mr. Dixon and Mr. Hill,
That's how many hours,
Times
time point 72 equals.
Yeah, so 1085, so do
1085 is
1,000.
the most any of them could make.
So do 1,000.
well, actually, they do more than that though. Because some of them get on call and some of them fill in when someone else is not there. So with those full-timers that you have that are part-time full-timers,
Yeah, but
sometimes
if they
their hours are
start,
showing 1,400 hours here.
if they start
Not
making
$1,000.
over a certain amount, then we have to pay their insurance and
I
all that.
understand, but you got them on the list right here. 1,400 hours, 1,500 hours.
What do y'all think?
What's gonna be easiest for you, Megan?
I mean, either one, I mean,
Well, my recommendation is just pay them the 72 cents for the hours they completed in 2022.
I think it would honestly be easier if you did the increment, because I have it all, I have it all listed here. I know how many hours they worked per payroll, average. But I mean, it's up to y'all.
So with the 1,700 work that Joey recommended?
1,700,
Yes, sir.
that's more than what the,
No, he's talking about
No,
1,000 for the
1,000
top
for the
increment,
15
700.
hours and plus get 1,000.
Yes.
that sounds good to me.
So 15 hours or more, average payroll,
No, that's
In
just a
2022.
suggestion. I'm just throwing that out there.
15 hours or more,
I'm good with it.
$1,000.
That's right.
And then less than 15 hours for 2022, 700.
Yes.
Okay, so we're not counting the first payroll in this year.
Right.
It was all of 22, okay.
Well, did we do that on the? Did their full-time? No.
It goes.
I mean, there's no
They're
difference.
flat.
I'm
They're
taking the
flat.
average,
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
because this included that first payroll,
right.
but, okay. Okay,
All right. I'll entertain a motion that we, consider the incentive retention pay for our regular part-time employees to be paid in this payroll with the full-time that's already been approved out of the 10 million disaster relief flexibility funds for the American Rescue Plan Act, and for anyone 15, making an average or doing an average of 15 hours or more, regular part-time, an increment of 1,000 would be paid to them. and anyone below 15 hours, regular part-time, on the average, would be 700. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Dixon. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Mims. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? So ordered. Thank you. Okay. Consider to take action on a quote from Palestine Air and Heat in the amount of $8,989.28 to replace the middle unit package unit on the roof of the adult probation office. Y'all should have a quote in there. I had an email from Angela at the probation office, and they had worked on this back in December and got it, I guess, working for a little bit, and it quit again. It's 25 years old. Paul Martini's the one that's servicing that unit, and he's recommended that it be replaced. There's 3 units on top of the building. I did talk to him about how that unit would be put up there, making sure that the roof would be taken care of and not do any damage to the roof. Now, just from a philosophy standpoint, because there's some things here on the sheriff's department that I think were suggested to be taken when the minute orders were sent to me, or requests for agenda items to come out of permanent improvement. Well, I'm looking at, from a philosophy standpoint, we've got permanent improvement funds or property tax funds. Those come from all the citizens in Anderson County paying property tax. And we actually have American Rescue Plan funds that are for recovery. And I'm thinking, and that's what I wanted to have a discussion about, having using those funds to get us to a better place while we have them available, because they're only temporary. We've got a budget and use them for the next 3 years. The permanent improvement, though, if we use the ARPA funds instead of using our permanent improvement funds, then we're going to have that for an extended period of time in case we have other things down the road. And after our last court, we got several buildings that need major repairs, but I don't think it's going to impact the ARPA funds that much. But I would prefer using the ARPA funds to get us to a good place with all of our repairs. That's why, after Nick spoke to the court last time, I didn't realize there was some major repairs to the jail too. But we're gonna have to do the courthouse annex in Ferguson, courthouse annex in Elkhart. I'd just like to get us up to 100%. And personally, I don't think, looking at this, it's gonna be that difficult to preserve some of those ARPA funds too. But I'd rather use those, since they're temporary, instead of using permanent improvement right now and save those property tax dollars. So that's why I put this on for American Rescue Plan, to be taking care of some of these major repairs, some of the bigger ticket items. I mean, we've done Wayfair signs. We spent $50,000 on Wayfair signs for the city of Palestine. We spent somewhere between $40,000 and $60,000 for the down in Reagan's Park for doing a fitness center. I want to get Anderson County back to where we need to be on all of our building repairs. And I think y'all would agree with me that that's got to be a priority. So we don't, because if you don't take care of those things, then it's just going to get where they're more expensive and more damage. And so I just wanted you to understand why I was putting it under the American Rescue Plan fund. So we've got a quote that needs to be replaced. We're fixing to probably have some bad weather coming. At least we need to anticipate that's going to happen. And that's one of their major heating units. And if we get freezes, we need that unit up and running. So I'll entertain any discussion, or what do y'all think? I'd like to get that thing repaired and get it fixed and going for them. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the quote from Palestine Air and Heat in the amount of $8,989.28 to replace the middle unit on the adult probation office. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion, Judge, that we approve to fix the heating units on there for the 898928, for the adult probation officer being used out of either contingency or the permanent improvement, either one. I don't know what would be the best way to go. We can go with the contingency money and use it for that. That's my motion.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All right, motion by Commissioner Chapin.
It wouldn't be out of contingency, it would be, that would be out of permanent improvement or capital outlay, but that would be permanent improvement.
Okay, permanent improvement would be better.
I mean, you can't use
Capital outlay.
contingency.
What about capital outlay?
I think that would be a permanent improvement item, not capital
I'll
outlay.
amend my motion to make it a permanent improvement then.
Okay. All right, motion by Commissioner Chapin to award the quote of $8,989.28 to replace the unit on the probation office with permanent improvement funds. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Dixon. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Motion carries. Consider and take action to equip and detail with graphics the new emergency management truck and the 2 courthouse maintenance trucks with ARPA funds. We've got the truck for emergency management, and we're, as Commissioner Chapin requested, trying to change the decal out on the one at Was Road and Bridge.
Did her truck come in?
Oh, yeah, we've got her truck. She's already using it. We moved both of those to maintenance, so they have their trucks. So. Now, I had, we were still working on some quotes. Let me give you what we got so far. To equip the emergency management truck with some of the things she needs, grill guard and some things like that, it was $2403.92. She's got to have a new set of light bars, and that's $4287.04.
What about the light bars on it now? I'm sorry. Is it?
The light bar doesn't,
The light bar on there now is, been passed down from 3 vehicles, and I've replaced whatever replaced, you can no longer get parts for it. And it's got some lights that are going out on it.
okay. So that's a replacement of the light bar also. And then removing the decals off of the old emergency management truck and the precinct 1 truck got transferred. So it's a total of $7178.09. Any discussion?
You got that one? Yeah, that's all, just the cost, what everything is.
What's the total again?
It's $7178.09. That's for all 3 trucks. We're still trying to get a quote on putting the decals back on.
Put them back on.
Yeah, on,
We took Greg's off.
yeah, he hadn't been able to work up the quote yet for.
Yeah, they
put-
took,
Okay, both
We're gonna
these
put
are-
just door decals on the maintenance,
Yeah,
and then we've still gotta do some decals. Main thing, I wanna make sure that her truck is not mistaken for a police unit.
yeah, they'll take
Safety
that,
standpoint.
that erase, that's what we did with ours the other day. I took that erase thing and wiped it off, and then we just stuck our precinct sticker on the side.
yeah,
The maintenance trucks, they'll just have the maintenance sticker stuck on them, right?
yeah.
Yeah, well, he's gonna actually put a decal on there that says building maintenance.
Yeah, that's what the old one has. I think even the one has a park, right?
Yeah.
You can order them that way, and they'll just stick on there.
Okay. All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the quotes from, for the equipment replacement and for removal of the decals for the emergency management truck and both of the maintenance trucks for $7178.09. 7809 out of ARPA funds.
Just a question that I have.
Okay.
And just for my knowledge, when the sheriff's department gets their trucks, how are we gonna rig them out? As far as stickers and, light bars and all that, what are we gonna pay for that out of?
Should come out of our capital outlay. You know what we have for buying the trucks, isn't that
For
not
vehicles.
correct?
Vehicles.
Did that come out of capital outlay?
Yes, sir. We rig them out,
Traditionally, it has.
Out of vehicles.
but I mean, when the vehicles
For
get here,
vehicles?
yes, we have to, rig them out.
Okay.
And it's all figured in there, so this would come out, the same, whatever you wanna do, whatever y'all do.
And you said it comes out of capital outlay? Well, I'll put in form of motion that we, pay the 7809, for the courthouse maintenance trucks and emergency management trucks for decals and light bars to come out of capital outlay.
Okay, you have a motion by Commissioner Hill. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Chapin. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? So ordered.
Sorry, Michelle, I spoke over you.
Consider and take action on a quote from Joel Decorating to furnish and professionally install solar shades in Anderson County Ag Building to reduce utility costs to be paid with ARPA funds. I've talked to Joel and I've gone to Lowe's.
What, did Lowe's quote you
Well,
remember?
they haven't been able to get a quote together. I was gonna see what y'all wanted to do on this. In talking to Lowe's, they'll have to send somebody in to measure and quote the windows. It's gonna be somebody from out of town. The company actually is out of Louisiana, but they have somebody in the area that does the installations and everything like that. So what I'm thinking is, if we have somebody that's here, that if there's a problem or anything that's local,
Did Joel's get by there and measure them and all?
but they, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
So
didn't know
that's,
that.
you've
That's
got a quote in the.
Yeah, that's a solid rock. I didn't know if they actually took what we had before on, we gave them the measurements.
I don't know
Yeah,
that.
and I talked to him, one of the things, this is gonna be the same shades as what's in the front of the
Yes.
annex,
Yeah.
but they're solar shades, and actually, they're the same quality, but they're gonna be a little darker, because the light coming through over there is so bright.
It is.
And I talked to Jenna and Truman, and you've got,
It gets the east and the west sun hard.
well, you've got, yes, I mean, that, so many windows, and when, out in that lobby, it's getting so hot that she's turning the air conditioner down, and everybody else in the offices are freezing.
No, it needs them. Lowe's was just a little bit, cheaper, but you can't get them to, it takes, it's a act of Congress to get them to do anything
They've
for
been
us.
in there for 2 or 3 months, so
Oh, I
I
agree.
went ahead and put this on, so if the court's, amenable to go ahead and do this, I'd like to get them some shades up, because I think it's gonna reduce the utility bills.
Did Joel act like they could get to it? But they give
He
you
talked
a
like he could,
schedule?
so. What's the pleasure of the court?
Was there any other money set aside for that building?
It's been permanent improvement the whole time.
I wasn't sure.
But
where-
it's already put in use, so you can't use permanent improvement for this. The building is already put in use now.
Okay,
So if
that
it doesn't come out of ARPA, it would be capital outlay.
capital outlay.
Well, that's, whatever the court wants to do. I just didn't know where we paid for that other.
The permanent improvement side, I guess, once it's occupied, then that don't fall under that side.
Right, because it's,
They need the shades down there.
How do we pay for the other permanent improvements with,
because you were,
but
It was unoccupied.
I'm
It was
talking
built.
about for the air conditioning water.
well, that's a
It
permanent
is.
structure on the building. That's a lot bigger than the shades. I mean, the shades should be just taken down.
There's no shades over there.
Right, but you're talking about these shades.
They're gonna have, they've not been there, so I didn't know if you putting the air conditioning was different on a
Well, that's
already established
a,
building.
but that's something that would be a permanent thing on the structure.
Okay, and the shades will come down,
You could,
they could. And the air
that's
conditioning-
not a permanent improvement item.
Okay.
The shades are not gonna be a permanent improvement item, but it would be capitalized, so we would put it in capital improvement. They're not gonna take the air conditioner down.
They might.
So is there a capital outlay line item? For
Yes.
the 4-H building?
Well, it's just all
It's all
over
together
Commissioner's
for
Court.
the
Yes.
county?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so, I think that's where, should just go ahead and get it, cause they need them down there, and
Yes, sir.
get it done. Judge has right to make the utilities go down, so.
They've gotta have it. With the utilities, we're free. They gotta have it because you can't literally sit in the building as far as here to Joey without the sun blinding you.
Oh, it'll blind you.
Yeah, but it's just because of the west sun, when it sets, it's coming all the way through the building. And they had shades on them before, but they was 1970
Yeah,
model.
they had curtains.
Old curtains
Joel
too.
put curtains in there
And they
for
got
Royal
tent
National Bank.
And they
Some
drug
of
the
it.
curtains across there and the whole bit, and they were yellow just from the old burn from the sun. So,
I don't know either, that's what I was letting them discuss it, whatever they decide.
So,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
do I have a motion?
I'll
Yeah,
put a formal motion on
Okay.
What's your motion?
it, and, at the end of it, it come from capital outlay. But we do need to purchase them from Joel's Decorating, have them put them up and install them for us. Ain't that right, Judge?
Yeah, $6,997.
67.
Yes, sir.
97.
Okay, so that's your motion that we accept a quote from Joel's Decorating
Yes,
for
sir.
$69.97, to come from, be paid out of capital outlay.
Yes, sir.
Motion by Commissioner Mims, do I have a second?
second.
Second by Commissioner Dixon, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So ordered. Consider and take action on approving a correction of record for serial numbers previously approved in court August 8, 2022 for Road and Bridge Precinct 2 on a 2012 John Deere 6430 4x4 cab tractor and Boom Mower. Correct serial numbers are as follows: John Deere tractor L06220 H382086. It's a Tiger Boom Mower TB 4098. In addition, a Tiger Boom Flail Shredder TBF 1569 was added to the purchase at no charge. Megan?
This is just a housekeeping item. When this was purchased by Precinct 2 in 2022, I mean, it's exactly what the agenda item says. The serial number was incorrect in the minutes. So
Yes,
this
sir.
is just to correct that. And also adding the Tiger Boom Flail Shredder. That was also added to our inventory.
Yes, sir. The serial number was incorrect on the tractor, and the Tiger Boom Shredder was given for the Boom Mower, and they did not know that it was given two, and the picture was sent in that it was two separate items, and that was given at no charge, and that's why we're negotiated to get it also.
Okay. So just the motion needs to be correct, the serial number, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. I'll entertain a motion to correct the serial number.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Hill. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Dixon. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So ordered. Consider and take action on authorizing the county auditor's office to apply for the fiscal year 24 Violence Against Women Act grant and approve the resolution number R01-2023. Auditor Lambert.
This is our annual grant that we have with the DA's office. I just need the court to approve for the application and the resolution so that I may submit it.
Same thing we do every year.
Yes, sir.
Yes. All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the auditor to apply for the Violence Against Women Act
It's
grant.
one.
So moved, Your Honor.
Motion
I
by
know, it
Commissioner
was changed.
Mims.
It's
Do I have a
one.
second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Chapin. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So ordered.
You got it.
Item number 11, consider and take action on authorizing the auditor's office to apply for the fiscal year 24 Victims of Crime Act grant and approve resolution R02-2023. Same thing, it's going to be the Victims of Crime Act grant.
Yes, this is the same thing.
That's an annual.
Yes, sir.
Grant
With the
also,
DA's
right?
office, yes.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
And I'll put it in form of motion, Your Honor.
All right, motion by Commissioner Mims. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Dixon. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So ordered. Consider and take action on cutting pine trees along Anderson County Road 403. Commissioner Hill.
Yes, sir, I put a picture in front of each one of you. It's a job that we can do, really don't have to be taken through court, but I'm gonna have to shut down 403 for a short period of time. So anytime I have to do anything and shut a road down on something like this, I just like to bring it before the court. Let everybody know what's going on. As you can see in the pictures, the ground's starting to wash away from the trees, and they're gonna start falling, and the landowner agreed to let me cut them, and then he's gonna take care of the stumps. All I have to do is cut them and haul them off.
But you're gonna have to block the road to do that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I'm in contact with trying to get a hold of a log company to see if there would be any, if they would have any use for these logs or not. They're good pine trees. I have not got a hold to anyone yet. I guess that is a question I need to ask if I do get someone. I mean, can the county sell the trees to that person,
I
or?
don't think you can sell
They'll-
them. You could give them to them.
The only
Megan?
thing is if the landowner owns the trees. So, I mean, I would let him negotiate the deal with the
Okay.
logging deal and
Okay.
then stay out of the financial side of it just because that'll keep him the liabilities, you know,
Yeah, but
for,
we
if
don't
not,
own
if you
them.
did receive any proceeds, it'd have to be just turned into Megan.
Right, okay.
But they do, he owns to the center of that road.
Right,
so.
correct. Okay.
But there's no action on this. I appreciate it. I mean, like.
Yeah, I
said,
just wanna let the court know, anytime I gotta shut down a road for something like this, in case there's an accident or something, I want everybody to be on the same page.
Yes, sir.
So no, I don't think there needs to be any action taken.
Okay. So that was just for information purposes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Item number 13, consider and take action on authorizing the Emergency Management Coordinator to apply for the fiscal year 24 Homeland Security Grant and approve resolution number R03-2023. Y'all should have a copy of that in your packet.
What's that?
Did you want
what's
to
the
address the
amount?
court, Christine?
Yeah, what's the amount of that grant?
This is the Homeland Security grant that I could put in occasionally. Last year, I didn't have anything. This year, I haven't had anything brought to me except for Slocum Fire. They're outfitting the Swiftwater Rescue Team, and they were looking for a enclosed trailer to carry all the equipment. And I told them we could put in for it and try. It's looking at a little over $10,000 for the trailer. It will be a fully enclosed trailer that they will keep there with the boat to pull with whatever vehicle they come up with to pull it. I told them it could be a long shot to get this grant with Homeland Security. Since I'm on the committee, I'm familiar with some of the stuff that's went through there. So it would be, since they're a volunteer fire department, they have to go under the county, and we have to apply for them. And at the end, when they do, if they do receive this and acquire it, we can do a permanent loan to their responsibility to upkeep and maintain it. If they ever give it back, if they ever do away with the trailer, they have to give it back to the Homeland Security to be lent out to somebody else. So I'm just asking for approval for that to go forward with it.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Worth the
Any
try.
discussion?
Sir.
No, sir.
I'll entertain a motion to approve Emergency Management Coordinator apply for fiscal year 24 Homeland Security Grant and approve resolution number R03-2023. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Hill. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Mims. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So ordered.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Christine. Hear from Sheriff Flores on current update of Anderson County jail population in compliance with Texas jail standards.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Sheriff.
Since I took over, we've struggled with staffing issues and compliance with jail standards. In order to do that, we had to restrict access and acceptance at the jail. So 1 to 48 ratio of correctional officers to inmates. Some months back, I examined considered opening up the jail to allow for more arrest and more enforcement countywide. And I found a resource, but it wasn't local. It was a private prison out in West Texas. They could take 100 inmates at well over $100 a day, and I thought that was too excessive for our county and for our personnel to accept, so we did not accept their bid. I waited to see if something opened up a little more local. Sheriff Hillhouse in Henderson County, his situation has changed a bit, and he is able to accommodate up to 25 beds there now that he's reserved for us at a really great deal for a neighboring sheriff of $35 a day. So we've opened up the county jail to additional arrests now, anything to do with any warrant of a state statute, felony or misdemeanor. Allow for better enforcement and better public safety on the part of the agencies in Anderson County. So far, we went active with that Friday. We anticipated there might be an initial rush to fill up the county jail on the part of the Palestine Police Department or other agencies, but they've been judicious in their use, and we remain around 183 today. The maximum I can hold is 192 with our current staffing and overtime plan that's in place, which is how we're continuing to run with the overtime and the current staffing. That will give us about 9 beds leeway right now. Some will come, some will go, but if we exceed 192, we've got a place to take them at a decent price and manage our population and our finances.
What did you say the price was again, Sheriff?
In Henderson, 35 per day,
Yes, sir.
per person.
Yes, sir, it's good.
Who's
Quite a
gonna be
bit better than the 100 plus.
Yes, sir.
So, plus the transport, right?
We take care of transport, and of course, medical is still our responsibility. But transport will be a much easier burden for us to carry, just going to Athens and back instead of going to West Texas.
So how many available beds do we still have though?
Well,
About
we can,
105?
we can, with classification, the maximum the county jail can hold now is about 240, according to my captain, and keep in compliance with the classification. With the mandated state ratio of 1 to 48, current staffing and overtime will allow me to do 192.
Okay, so I noticed in the bills there were some charges for Indeed. Are we using any kind of outside resources to try to hire jailers?
I'm not sure what you're asking.
Well, is there
Are we
some-
recruiting? Are we going out talking to people? Or
Well, I know you're doing
Yes,
some of
sir.
those things. You've been doing some job fairs and some things like that.
Yes, sir.
But I'm talking about, is there any kind of advertisement through some type of company? You see a lot of those.
I haven't gone with a
Advertise.
commercial like Monster or some of the other internet providers, no, sir. Some statewide law enforcement listing, yes. T. Cole's website, yes. Some sheriff's association stuff, as well as some Facebook groups that I belong to that are all law enforcement closed groups, yes. But it really hasn't convinced anyone to move here from anywhere else. Our market tends to be local.
Is that something that you could put on just regular Facebook, or? is
We
that-
can. We've done it many times.
Well, I thought
and-
I've seen
and
something
it gets
on there.
quite a bit of play, shares, and shows engagements, and it goes out and it multiplies. We have picked up a few from adjoining counties, but not that many.
Judge, do you have any recommendations on some of those? I mean, that he could?
No, I was just asking the question.
Yeah, I
because
didn't know if
I
there
know
was-
some of the restaurants were using some of those resources.
Yeah, 'cause I don't know of any.
They were actually able to get in employees that they wouldn't have been able to done, and they're kind of screened already, so.
Yeah, Indeed and Monster, that's a possibility. I've got a incoming email from the Tyler paper now asking about an ad if I'm interested. That'll hit their 3 different papers that they produce up there and extend the reach into adjoining counties on the other side of Tyler. But if the going rate for county jailers is different in those adjoining counties, we're probably not going to convince any of them to come here for less. So, but we are open to extending our reach, yes, sir.
Yeah, I didn't know if they had a certain group of people they go through.
Well, there's different places for them to advertise. But, and I know that I've seen stuff on Facebook, just like Commissioner Hill said.
Yeah.
But essentially, you were just giving us a report.
Just an
But the
update in
capacity
case,
of the jail is 305, correct?
No, sir, because due to classification, in order to comply with the requirements, we can accommodate, if we were maxed out, the captain in the jail tells me it's going to be about 240.
Is that with the personnel or?
No, that would be, we don't have enough
If you
personnel.
had if you had everybody staffed?
If we had everybody in the cells that are available in order to maintain classification, you know, habitual felons versus pretrial versus convicted versus jail, prison ready versus misdemeanors, first offenders, it reduces how you can, how many you can put in certain cells and how many you can stack here and there.
Yeah, how you can house them.
Yes, sir. You know, there might be room to put cots here and there and increase that, but we'd be out of compliance with the classification requirements by the Texas Jail Commission.
So what is the max number that you can hold?
Right now with
240?
staffing and the overtime plan is 192.
Right, but if you had.
If I had
everybody,
enough people,
240.
if all the authorized positions the Commissioners Court has given me, if they were all filled, the maximum is going to be in the 240 range according to the captain, in order to still meet the classification program required by the state.
Judge, whenever y'all built that, it was set up for 300 and some odd beds.
We built 200 beds in the new facility with all the support facilities to go to 600. And then once that was complete, we remodeled the 129 bed facility, which is the older part. And it was changed to 105 beds. So it's, at that time, it was 305 capacity. That's why I asked.
Yeah, so does it change with that because of how the laws, the standards of jail standards change?
I wasn't aware of
And
that.
the
So
housing part?
what the sheriff's telling us is it's 240, and evidently that's with the staffing that the court's approved.
Yes.
That's where
And
that
we're
number-
not utilizing any bed space in the old jail except part of it that is with females. There are cells over there that have been converted to evidence lockers to hold drugs and weapons and things like that. Because the sheriff's office has grown considerably in responsibility and in size and personnel since that building, I think, was built in '87.
So I think you mentioned to me, did you say 94%? It was a 90 percentile for felonies waiting trial.
Yes, pretrial felons, as of this morning, there was 110. I mean, I've got a lot of numbers here. You asked me about paper ready. There's 7 right now.
7 are paper ready.
7 paper
Are they
ready.
past their 45 days?
No, when we've been getting the paperwork 1 to 2 weeks after from the clerk's office, so they've been fairly timely in getting it to us. Once we get the paperwork, notify TDCJ, then it's up to them to notify us. If they're going local, they'll come pick them up. One of the 4 units that are still in operation here. Anywhere outside of that area, we have to transport them. Right now, we don't have any that they are ready to receive. Normally, we get a email or a fax every week from TDC saying, okay, which ones we can move and which ones they're coming to get.
But if they are paper ready, are they getting them within the 45 days?
We have
Or
one.
are they going over?
We have one that's in excess of 45 days right now.
So we need to be charging the state for that, correct?
I think that's a possibility.
Okay, all right. Any other questions or
No, I have none.
anybody?
But the charging the state for it sounds like that's something you
Well,
look into.
I mean, they've got 45 days to take them, and then,
We've had this problem for some time, you know, and it just seems like they.
I was just curious how, if it was a major problem or not. It sounds like it's not at this point.
Yeah, it has been in the past, so where we'd have several still
Right
waiting.
now, things seem to be going okay with the state and, getting them paper ready and moving them out. Like, I checked with the captain this morning. He said, no, we're getting timely paperwork from the clerk's offices.
That's good.
And pretty timely from TDCJ. As I indicated, out of the 7 that are ready to go right now, only one of those is over 45 days. So, and we imagine that one will go pretty quickly.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Thank you,
All right,
sir.
thank you. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Item number 15, consider and take action on approving sheriff's office to purchase vehicles and vehicle equipment with unanticipated funds from insurance and auction proceeds in the amount of $75,867.32 and $29,646.25 respectively, and furthermore, the vehicle or vehicles, if any quote went over 50,000 for one or more, then they've got to be bid or bought off a buy board. Sheriff, did you want, anybody want to address it? I assume I assume part of that's insurance for wrecked vehicles.
You are correct, Judge. We wrecked two last year toward the end of the year. Neither one of them were our fault. Well, one of them was our fault, actually. But that's the proceeds from the insurance. Fortunately, used cars are worth a lot right now, so one of them, we actually got more for it wrecked than we paid for it new. But nonetheless, we'd like to move that into capital outlay vehicles so that we can repurchase two more vehicles to replace those, and then put the insurance money in there again so that we'll have some funds to be able to rig out the ones we purchase. Or put the auction money in there. That's the 29,000 is the auction money.
So can we get a list, an inventory of how many vehicles? I mean, I'm just coming into this, so I'd like to kind of get an inventory of how many vehicles total we have with year, model, and maybe mileage, and then how many officers we have actually driving those vehicles, and how many that, you know, we've got spots that y'all are trying to fill on personnel, and how many spots compared to how many vehicles that are left sitting in the lot. I'd just like to have an inventory of how many vehicles and who, and what officers driving those vehicles. I'm just trying to get a handle on
Okay.
how many more vehicles we may need or not need, so.
Okay. Yes,
Okay.
you absolutely
For the-
can have that, Judge.
For the positions that y'all have actually allotted for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
I think
We maintain
you-
that
You
list.
provided us with that list
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, he already has it, so.
So you should have that already.
Oh, yes, sir. It's
Okay.
current as of this week, so.
Okay. Good enough. I'll entertain a motion to approve, the purchase of vehicles and vehicle equipment with unanticipated funds from insurance and auction proceeds in the amount of $75,867.32 and $29,646.25.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Dixon. Do I have a second?
Second.
I'm not sure you got this.
Shot.
All right. Second by Commissioner Mims. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? So ordered.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Consider and take action on a bid from Montgomery Technology Systems in the amount of $38,8848 to repair cameras and intercoms in the jail, to be paid with the jail budget.
Yes, sir. That's just a normal repair and maintenance on the cameras. A lot of our cameras are aging. Those are pan-tilt zoom. The larger number that you see there on the quote is a pan-tilt zoom camera, so they wear out after a while. Also, it's the repair and replacement of several intercoms that have gone bad. You've got inmates that are sitting there with absolutely nothing to do but figure out a way to tear stuff up. They finally succeed. So,
Let me ask the court, is that something we really, since it's budgeted in their budget, is that something we really need to act on? Or can they not just go ahead and make those repairs as they need them, so they're not delayed?
I mean, it's coming out of his own budget, out of the sheriff's office budget, so it would just go in the bills whenever.
Yeah, just should be able to just approve the bills on it.
Okay.
I don't think there'd be no action on it. They have to allow it. That's what he's saying to do it, so.
So you should be able to just do that out of the maintenance budget.
Yes, sir.
And so, we'll just pass on that item,
Okay.
and y'all can take care of that out of maintenance. On number 17, it's actually a similar situation. Consider takes action on a bid from ASAP Roofing in the amount of $2282.28 to replace the screws and boot flashings on part of Anderson County Jail in the sheriff's office roof. That's the old part?
yes, sir.
Okay. To be paid from the jail budget, so.
Yes, sir.
That's-
And,
that's
but
similar.
can we take that? Why would we not take that and that not be considered permanent improvement
because you're replacing it, you're repairing. But that's a huge item. This is just a repair to the roof. This wouldn't be capitalized. This would be a repair.
So I'm not really sure.
If you replace the entire roof, that would be permanent improvement, but they're replacing,
So it could come out of capital outlay to repair,
no, I think this would be a repair to come out of the jail budget.
okay, because the jail budget had it. Okay,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we have a building repairs line.
I got you.
Yeah, you've got a line item for that, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And it'd be the same way on that one.
Yeah, we can pass on that one.
Okay,
Okay. I thought that might shorten your time on getting the repair done, so
absolutely.
if we don't have to act on those items, okay? All right. So we'll pass on item number 17 and 18. And that's already budgeted in the sheriff's maintenance.
16 and 17.
16 and
Oh,
17.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
16, 17.
I'm sorry. 16 and 17.
Yes, sir.
Thank y'all. Okay, I guess you got the next one too. So consider and take action on the quote from Larry Luce Plumbing in the amount of $17,058.59 to replace one of the two water heaters in the jail. Of course, I put it on there to be paid with ARPA funds. That may not be the choice of the court, but the water heater's out, correct?
Yeah, we have two.
If you don't come out.
One of them is out. We're operating off of one right now, so,
Putting a strain on
That's a
it.
it's putting a strain
I don't know,
on the
that's-
one that we
What
have.
size heaters? How many
That's a
gallons?
huge thing to,
A lot.
And
I'm
a
just
lot.
this is just,
I think they're
I
120
get,
gallons.
no,
I was
this
just
is just the way
assuming they were well
Yeah.
over
it's
that.
supposed to be done.
It's gonna be a commercial heater though.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They're
Probably
high
quick
volume
recovery.
commercial.
Hot water heater is not AC that runs a whole building.
And I was actually pleased at the 17,000
That's
because
just-
when it started at
Permanent improvement.
25,000 and we wound up working our way
Hold on
down.
just a
Permanent improvement,
Is it?
yes.
Where does he find that law at? I mean, I'm just curious. I mean,
It's not a law. I don't think it's not a
Well, it has
law.
to be right, it has to be written.
I was
That's
having
not in the
trouble hearing
law,
you.
where to charge it to.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, now go ahead.
I said I was actually pleased with the 17,000. It started out at 25 was the estimate and wound up, after we had them shop it around, but we found one at Coburn's, in Athens that they could get us cheaper for about 17,000.
What does this hot water heater provide services for? How much of the building?
Well, the two water heaters that we have provide service for 100% of the building. And basically, they're a
It's
redundant
capital
system.
outlay. It's capital outlay, not
Basically,
permanent.
they're a redundant system, Commissioner. So when you have two there, it just uses from both heaters at the same
Yeah, I
time.
agree, yeah.
And if you lose both of them, you're in trouble.
Yes.
Well, it'd be some
And the other
cold
one may,
inmates.
the other one's been in there sometime also, right?
Yes, sir. They're both at least 13 years old.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll entertain a motion to approve, Larry Luce Plumbing, quote in the amount of $17,058.59 to replace, one of the two water heaters in the jail. And I'll entertain that motion and I'll, allow the court to decide where they want that fund to come out.
Well, I'll make the motion to approve it. I just, coming out of permanent improvement, the air condition fits it because it services the whole building, but the hot water heater does not fit it, even though it provides the service.
The hot water heater would be capital outlay.
So it's gonna be capital outlay. We're gonna make it capital outlay. And then her and I are gonna find some law.
So is that a motion?
Yes, out of capital outlay for the.
Capital outlay?
Yes, sir.
All right, motion by Commissioner Chapin. Do I have a second?
Second.
It's not a law.
I think Commissioner Hill got that one.
Yeah, let me have it.
Commissioner Hill's on the second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? So ordered. All right, one more time.
Okay.
Consider and take action on a quote from Palestine Air and Heat in an amount of $10,605.42 to replace the heat exchanger, exhaust motors, and safety switches over the women's wing of the jail to be paid out of whatever funds the court chooses to pay out of.
Judge, I'll make a motion to approve that, purchase to fix the air, the handlers on there for the 10-605-42 out of permanent improvement.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Dixon. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So ordered.
Judge, one second, sure, one second, please. Like,
Hey, Judge,
Yes, sir.
do you mind, after number 20, if we could jump to 22 since he'll already be up there and do the truck? Or would you rather do them in order?
Okay, jump past which one now?
I need to talk to the sheriff about something on number 22.
22.
Number 21 is me reading all this stuff right here.
He wants to go from 20 to 22
And then back to 20.
Oh, about
Can
the
we do
constable.
because he'll
You'll
be
have
up.
the constable truck since he'll be up there
Just
in
know
case
that's
there's any
right.
questions for him.
So you wanna do that now?
Well,
Well,
or
we
after,
finish this one.
after the JB security.
Oh, okay, all right.
That way he don't have to go sit down and get back up.
Okay, that's fine.
I mean, it don't matter either way. I can do it.
We can do that. That's a short item probably anyway.
Yeah, and that's gonna read in that slideshow's gonna take.
Okay. Okay. Consider, item number 20, consider and take action to approve payment of $49,999.99 to JB Security for upgrading the locking system in the sheriff's office. Sheriff?
This is improvement in change on the older part of the building, the part that was built in the 80s. I don't think they've changed the lock or any of the security on that side since then. And a lot of employees have come and gone, some problems and some, maintenance issues have occurred over the years. We got a grant, as y'all remember, to cover part of that improvement, and then came to y'all for the additional payment. The original bill came in at $48,000, or estimate $48,733.71. There were some change orders that had to go in. They're different, as in every renovation or construction. There's some unanticipated cost or changes. They raised the price. We're asking to now increase the payment. The work has been done. Increase the payment to J&B Security to $49,999.99.
Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Dixon. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hill. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? So ordered. While you're here, Sheriff, the court wanted to jump to number 22 since that was your item too.
Well, actually, or go ahead and read it.
Number 20, it also included budget amendment number 165, just for clarification.
Okay.
It's on the Chevy truck.
That was on number 20?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Does that need to be part of the motion then?
Yes, sir, if you don't mind.
Okay.
What?
All right, I'll entertain a motion to amend the motion to approve the payment of $49,999.99 to J&B Security to include approving budget amendment number
165.
165. Do I have a motion to amend?
So,
Oh,
he
okay.
said it.
Motion by Commissioner Dixon. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hill. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, now, let's go back. Since we've amended the original motion, we need to approve the motion as amended. So I'll entertain that motion.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Hill. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Dixon. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? So ordered. Now we got it done. All right, number 22, consider and take action on a purchase Chevy truck from Caldwell Chevy in the amount of $51,630.34, Constable Precinct 4. That's a buy board bid number 60119.
Yes, sir. And the reason I wanted, the sheriff up there or Mr. Nick is to make sure I get this right. Y'all ordered 3 vehicles, correct?
That's correct.
3 Chevys,
Yes.
but you're actually gonna only need 2, correct? We think, you're gonna have 1 extra.
Yes.
So I thought, Mr. Nick told me this and, that there was gonna be 1 available. Mr. Muniz has been looking for a truck since last year, so, I thought that we could use one of these trucks. It's already pretty much rigged out like he needs it, no console for his radios and all that, so it's pretty much gonna fit exactly what he needs, and he's had no luck in finding a truck. So that's the reason I put that on there, just to approve payment, so when the sheriff's department does get these trucks, we can pay it, and one truck will go to Constable Precinct 4.
The court was kind enough, since we've had so much trouble getting vehicles, the court was kind enough last year to allow us to leave the 21 order that we made in place and the 22 order that we made in place. And so realistically, we don't have the capital outlay vehicle funds to purchase all 8 trucks that are coming in. We have 5 Fords that we have a promise of being manufactured and delivered sometime in the early part of this year. But the Chevrolets have a manufactured estimated date of January 23rd, so they should be here somewhere in the first part of February after they get built and transported.
Y'all don't
That's
need
what you
any of the
think,
3 of
first
them
of
though, did you?
February?
Were you gonna stick with the Fords? You were gonna let the 3 of the Chevrolets go, or keep 2 of them?
Well, we're gonna, trucks we can touch and put our hands on are much better than trucks that are
Yes.
just promised. So we're gonna buy 2 of them, or
I got you.
if Constable Dixon wanted one of the others, then we would let her, buy that one, and we'd just buy the one and, try to find a 3/4 ton for our livestock officer, for about the same money.
And the constables are budgeted anyway, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, her
Okay.
Yes,
truck's been
sir.
ordered for 2
In
years.
particular-
Okay.
Just hadn't been delivered to her.
Constable Precinct Three's been looking, she's been approved for 14 months and had no luck in getting an order. We're
Well,
trying
she
to
has
help
one,
our
but it's sitting
coworkers,
somewhere and they won't deliver it.
trying to help our coworkers and other county officials, while we help ourselves at the same time.
So this is just addressing one of those vehicles
Yes,
going
sir.
to precinct 4,
Precinct 4, Constable Precinct 4.
okay?
Thank y'all for that.
What about on the wording so that we're approving it like it needs to be worded?
Right, yeah,
Are you gonna make that motion?
yeah, I'll put in form of a motion
Okay.
that we approve for a Chevrolet truck from Caldwell Chevrolet that the sheriff's department ordered for $51,630.34 for Constable Precinct 4.
And that's a buy board bid?
Yes, sir, and it is off the buy board,
60119.
60119.
Okay. All right, Commissioner Hill made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Dixon. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? So ordered.
Thank you.
Okay, thank y'all.
Thank you.
All right, going back to item number 21 here from Commissioner Hill regarding presentation A 1024, Section 3, pertaining to the Community Development Block Grant, contract number CD V21-0245 for Anderson County Road 427, and take action as necessary. So I think,
You turn that light on first.
yeah, let me see. Okay, good, that came up. There's actually 2 of them, I think, that's,
This side?
the 2 on this side, yes, sir.
I don't know.
Oh, that's the wrong one.
There you go.
That good enough or one more?
No, I think that was it, yeah. So just let me know when we need to advance the slide.
Okay.
Okay? Let me make sure this thing hadn't gone dormant on me here. I think it was just the mouse. There we go.
How's Joey doing?
Okay, Anderson County, Texas recently received the following grant award. Grant contract number CDV 21-0245. Award amount $350,000. Project is street improvements, reconstruct roadways along County Road 427 to improve safety. Okay. The grant is funded through the Community Development Block Grant, U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, and Texas Department of Agriculture. As a condition of funding, Anderson County must comply with Section 3 of the Housing and Urban Development Act of 1968. To the greatest extent feasible, grant recipients must direct economic opportunities generated by CDBF funds to low and very low income persons. And part of this means ensuring that Section 3 businesses have the information to submit a bid or proposal for the project, and section 3, workers have information about any available job opportunities related to the project.
It's just for definitions, Chris.
Yeah.
Okay.
A company may qualify as a section 3 business if it is owned by low-income persons, it is owned by section 8 assisted housing residents, or 75% of all labor hours for the business in a 3-month period are performed by section 3 workers. Register at HUD section 3 website. This project is expected to include the following contracting opportunities: grant administrative services, engineering services, prime contractor for street improvements, subcontractors if applicable, whatever. You may qualify as a section 3 worker if your annual income is below the county threshold for the family size. The county threshold for a family size of 1 is $38,150. You're a current or resident youth build participant. Register for your information and search for opportunities at workingintexas.com. Section 3 workers that reside near the project locations may also qualify as targeted section 3 workers. For this project, that served area is defined by this map. And then there's a map on there that shows the area. The county will track all hours worked on the project based on the 3 categories of workers. This will require collection of certain income information. And then it just has the other websites and stuff. And this grant, before we could get started, I had to go out and knock on each door. Of course, I didn't get in touch with everyone out there, but I did get in touch with enough, and they had to fill out a piece of paper with their income information and sign it, so we could get approved for the grant. So, and Ms. Crockett helped us tremendously on this too, so I would like to say thank you for doing that, and everyone that's helped with it. But hopefully, I can get started on the project. I'd like to get started in the middle of April.
Is this something we need to take action on?
Man, I don't
It
have,
says and take action as necessary, so.
I don't honestly,
We've already
you know,
accepted the grant.
I mean, yeah, it's just the information. We have to show this on a PowerPoint and somebody has to read it, just, part of the rules of the grant.
All right, so just so there's no question, let me see if I entertain this motion that Commissioners Court approve that the Commissioner has made the presentation that was required for the grant and for him to proceed with pursuing the grant. I'll entertain that motion.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Dixon. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Chapin. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? So ordered.
Thank y'all.
And we don't have anything in closed session, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Dixon. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Mims. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? We're adjourned.
Why?
He said they're getting work.
Oh,